Hello and thanks for joining us for our mid-morning edition of ARIRANG News. I'm Mark Broom. We start this morning with the latest on the deepening state affairs meddling scandal that has sent shockwaves through Korea. Chae Soon-sil, the woman at the centre of it and President Park Geun-hye's close friend, will be summoned by prosecutors on Monday afternoon at 3 p.m. Korea time in about 5 hours from now. She arrived at Incheon International Airport on Sunday morning after hiding in Europe for nearly 2 months. Chae's daughter, who's suspected of receiving preferential treatment in her admission to Seoul's Ewha Women's University, did not return with her mother. At a press conference, Chae's attorney said she's willing to cooperate with prosecutors.
My client has asked prosecutors to give her a day to rest so she can recuperate. My client will fully cooperate with the probe. She wants to convey her deepest apologies for causing disappointment and frustration to the public.
Chae's arrival is expected to speed up investigations into the numerous allegations she's facing, especially on meddling with state affairs. The floor leaders of Korea's 3 political parties and the National Assembly Speaker will meet on Monday in an attempt to resolve the ongoing scandal. The ruling Saenuri Party is likely to bring up the idea of forming a new cabinet based on bipartisan efforts, but this is likely to be resisted as the main opposition Democratic Party of Korea and the minor People's Party have already said that uncovering the truth over allegations surrounding President Park's close friend is more important at this point. The meeting was originally scheduled to discuss next year's budget plan, but issues like carrying out a special probe into the scandal and ways to amend the constitution will likely be discussed. The government has rolled out plans to help Korea's cash-strapped shipbuilding and shipping sectors. Finance Minister Yoo Il-ho said on Monday that the government will help firms cope with falling global demand by obtaining orders of 250 or more vessels by the end of 2020. That translates into a benefit worth some $9.5 billion. The government will also provide policy financing worth $5.6 billion to help shipbuilders acquire new vessels that are considered competitive. Local communities where shipbuilders are concentrated will receive $1.4 billion in support funds. This by next year. The measures follow the recent collapse of Hanjin Shipping, which applied for court receivership in late August. Now, if the situation on the Korean Peninsula remains the way it is today, North Korea could possess up to 100 nuclear warheads by the year 2020. The alarming projection was made by former US State Department Special Envoy on the North Korean nuclear issue, Robert Gallucci, during an interview with Japan's Kyodo News Agency. Gallucci was part of a US delegation that recently held informal talks with North Korean officials in Malaysia. He says with the new administration coming in January, the US should carefully consider when to resume negotiations with Pyongyang, as he believes the current sanctions are not enough, pointing out that China is not on the same page as the US, South Korea and Japan. With just over 1 week to go until the US presidential election, a new poll released on Sunday shows Hillary Clinton's lead over Donald Trump has now narrowed to a single point. Kim Mo-gyun tells us more.
The latest Washington Post and ABC News poll shows Trump has pulled within a point of Clinton with 45%, while Clinton had 46% in a 4-way race. Gary Johnson received 4% and Jill Stein garnered 2%. Clinton's lead has tumbled by a staggering 12 percentage points compared to the same poll released last week, possibly affected by the escalating controversy about her email scandal. Without the inclusion of third-party candidates, her lead increases to 3 points. The poll comes amid revelations about newly discovered emails that may be pertinent to the FBI's investigation into Clinton's private email server. On Friday, the Bureau announced that it would review newly discovered emails belonging to Huma Abedin, one of Clinton's closest aides, on a laptop computer she shared with her estranged husband, former Democratic Congressman Anthony Weiner. Weiner has been in the center of controversy for allegedly sexting with a 15-year-old girl. Regarding the latest findings, the poll found more than 6 in 10 voters say the news will make no difference in their vote, while 3 in 10 say it makes them less likely to back Clinton. The poll was held on a random sample of some 1,200 adults surveyed by telephone from October 25th to October 28. It has a margin of error of plus or minus 3 percentage points. Kim Mok-yeon, ARIRANG News.
Now, a powerful 6.6 magnitude earthquake jolted central Italy on Sunday, the strongest tremor to hit the country in more than 3 decades. Italy's Civil Protection Agency said the epicenter was located near Norcia. It's the same area hit by 2 earthquakes last week and close to the area where a deadly earthquake killed nearly 300 people in August. Some 20 people are injured and the metro in Rome has been shut down for the time being. The head of Italy's National Civil Protection Agency said no deaths had been reported, but there had been extensive, as you can see, damage to many historic buildings. Prime Minister Matteo Renzi has promised everything will be rebuilt, saying the government has the resources. And that's all the news we have for now. Our next bulletin is coming up at noon Korea time, so until then, goodbye.